Hey guys, welcome to IdeateTV. I'm Addie, and I'm here with Bill and Harold, and they're with it's so hard. MUFON.
Mutual UFO Network. Mutual UFO Network, MUFON. We're an international organization.
Okay, and I was just listening to their panel, and Bill here has had experiences with aliens. Have you had experiences?
No, but I've recorded many experiences interviewing people for 35 years.
For this company?
For MUFON.
Okay, so I'll come back to that. Tell me about your first experience.
Okay, so my first contact experience, I was camping up near Idlewild, and it was probably about 10 o'clock at night. I was by myself. It was October, so no one else was there, and it was almost a full moon. And I was lying down on my zero gravity lounge chair, so looking up by myself. My wife hates that I do that, going out camping, but that's what I do. So I'm looking up at the sky and just with soft focus, not looking for anything, just staring up at the sky. And there was one darker area of the sky, and at one point, this light just appeared in that dark area. And it did what I call power up. It just kind of grew like bigger. And then I basically just said, "Hey, brother," and and then it collapsed down and disappeared. And then not a second after that, out of my left eye peripherally, probably about 15 feet away from me, the most beautiful figure moving I've ever seen. It was about 7 to 8 feet tall. I'll just call it a shadow being because I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a Sasquatch, I don't know. But it took basically about 2 steps and went behind this grove of trees.
And was it a dark shadow or a lighter?
It was dark. So think of I call it a shadow figure because it was like black in color. About 7 to 8 feet tall, but just moves so incredibly fluidly. I've never seen a human look like that, and it was bipedal. So that's why I'm similar to what I've heard in Sasquatch reports, or maybe an off-planet alien, I don't know. But that's what I saw. And then eventually I got up from my chair and I walked over to where it was, this small grove of trees, and there was nothing. And there was nothing around the trees either, so I would have seen it exit somewhere because I was only 15 feet away. So I don't know what it was, but that was my first contact experience.
Do you think that light in the sky was trying to pull that thing up, or what do you think? Do you think they were connected in any way?
It's a great question, Addie. I think they were. In my research, I'm a field investigator for MUFON, and in my research, you find a lot of these Sasquatch reports, as well as UFO reports, and you'll find quite a few that correlate, happens at the same time, and they're connected in some way. So I don't know, but that was definitely connected because that thing appeared to me up in the sky. I just said, "Hey, brother," and then instantly that thing appeared and took 2 steps and was gone. So I definitely think they're connected.
Wow. Okay. All right, now Harold, tell me about your experience with the company and what are some of the most bizarre or craziest or scariest encounters that you've heard reported?
My passion is talking to people who've actually seen a UFO. And I think that almost everybody knows someone who has seen a UFO. You just don't know who it is. It could be your next door neighbor, the barista at Starbucks. It might be your sister. And because of that, we're all connected in some way to these events that are happening. And most people are afraid to talk about them. They're uncomfortable with it. So when they find out that I've written multiple books and I do the research, they gravitate towards me and they grab me and they'll go, "I need to talk to you." It's always the same phrase. It's not, "Hey, I'd like to chat with you about this." No, I have to talk to you. I have people grabbing me. Yeah. And they won't let go until they can decompress and let that experience out. So I have found that most people are not frightened by the experience. They're frightened of the ridicule. That's why they don't want to talk about it.
It's so crazy because I would love to have that experience and be able to see it and tell people about it. So it's funny that some people are worried about that. Any other experiences that you've heard?
Hundreds of them.
What's the craziest one?
Well, I think all of them have a similarity in that the people, as was discussed on the panel, they're unsuspecting. meaning they're unafraid at the time these things begin. Because if there's anybody in the group that is fearful, it ends. It ends. So, you know, most of your experiences, they're not these harrowing, scary tales. Now, there's an interpretation. If you suddenly get picked up in the presence of some strange beings, that word, I was abducted, but that's relative. Okay, so if you have a car accident and the EMTs take an injured person to the hospital, has that person been abducted? No. You know, our culture says that that's the appropriate thing to do, even if the person didn't give permission. So I think that there's some kind of universal agreement, just like we pick up dolphins and check on them, and check the quality of the ocean water, that there's universal agreement. We're part of a bigger universe, and that we're supposed to keep this place relatively pristine, and they're double checking on that.
You know, there was a question from a gentleman in the audience about consciousness. What do we have to do to make more contact? And really, it's about we are our saviors. It's not about us waiting for someone to come. We have to raise our vibration, our consciousness, awareness, lack of fear to a level where we're resonating with them. Because look, if these beings, other space people, have been visiting us for millennia, then they are hundreds, if not thousands of more years technologically advanced than we are. So if they wanted to harm us, they could have wiped us out a long time ago. So I think that's the main thing, is really it's about raising consciousness.
And I agree with that completely. Now, do you think that, kind of a weird conspiracy question, that maybe the government would take the opportunity to create
A false flag incident, of course, because their job is to keep the populace in fear. For whatever reason, and there could be hundreds of different reasons.
greed and money and power?
Yeah, you know,
Petrodollar.
petrodollar. I mean, that's right on point. Because once you discover there are people here from other places, they didn't stop at Arco on the way in and fill up. Okay. They've got here a different way.
Is there anything you want the public to know? How can we be more proactive with our environment, with knowing about aliens, with ourselves, to be able to raise our consciousness, awareness, whatever?
Okay, I think it all starts within. You know, if everyone wants to change the world by do these grand things or outside, no, it starts right here in you, in each one of us. So first you have to learn how to love yourself with all your warts and insecurities that we all have. Some of them just hide better than others. So love yourself, be able to have a relationship with yourself, because then once you love yourself, then you can love another person and allow that love. Exactly. It comes from within. And I think that's really the start. It sounds simple, but it's not easy. You know, so whatever journey it is you need to do to learn how to love yourself and take care, eat right, eat healthy food, eat organic, non-GMO, food, meditate or prayer, whatever it is your thing is, there's no one path, but start tapping into you. Trust your feelings, because your head will rationalize things, your body will never lie to you. So.
And always, look, you can start to say, we already know. I don't know what you're hiding. We already know. We hide all you want. We already know. Once that happens, Mom, Dad, I already know how babies are conceived. All right? No point in hiding it anymore. We know.